Hey there! So over the past couple of weeks, I have received about a gazillion comments on the blog regarding concept maps and asking for an example of one and asking how to do them. So I thought that a concept map video training would be really valuable for you and would really help you out with creating concept maps. So here I am. So first I want to apologize. I had originally recorded this video with me actually on camera. So you actually see me, which was really exciting, but unfortunately I couldn't get the audio and the video to sync up. So it was just my mouth moving to words that didn't match my mouth, which is really unfortunate. So thankfully, my awesome husband is on it. So hopefully in the near future, I will be able to put out some videos for you with me actually on camera. But until then, we'll have to just stick with this slides presentation. So let's get started on concept maps. Now, if you're not familiar with concept maps, here is what I'm talking about. They look something like this. They're basically a series of blocks that contain information about a topic, and those blocks are then connected to other blocks, which show that they are related somehow. You can connect multiple concept maps together to show how different topics relate to each other. So for example, in our concept map here of diabetes type 2, we could create another concept map for hypertension and connect it to this one because they often go hand in hand. Concept maps are a really great way to visualize the information that you're learning. With both concept maps laid out side by side, you can compare and contrast the information, which will help you understand it more and, of course, do better on your exam. Now, you know you can't just memorize information in nursing school, right? You have to truly understand it because you must critically think when you're taking care of patients because everyone is different in the real world. All of your patients will present differently than what you learned in a textbook, so you really need to be prepared. And concept maps are a great way to help you use your awesome critical thinking skills. So first I want to cover the 4 questions to ask when you create concept maps. The first is, how does this disease or intervention impact a patient without comorbidities? Now, if you're not familiar with the term comorbidity, it just means that there is something else going on with the patient, another disease or another disorder, meaning that there are 2 or more co-disorders that the patient has. And here we're asking, how does this disease or intervention that we're doing impact a patient with only one disorder? Now, the second question we'll ask is, how does this disease or intervention impact a patient with comorbidities? So this means that our patient has 1 or more co-disorders. So you're not just dealing with their primary disorder, but you're also dealing with their maybe second or third or fourth disorder that they may have. And now the third question that we'll ask is, in each of these cases, what signs and symptoms would I expect to see? So this is really your assessment. So what do you expect to see in a patient with comorbidities or a patient without comorbidities? And then the fourth question that we'll ask is, in each of these cases, what patient education needs to occur? So with a patient with comorbidities, what patient education do you need to do for them? And then a patient without comorbidities, what education will they need as well? These questions flow quite nicely into the 4 categories that I recommend that you use when you create concept maps. So here are those 4 main categories. So the first is what you will assess. So this is what you will look for in the patient and signs and symptoms that you would expect to see. The second is nursing interventions or treatment. So think about what you would do as the nurse to help support the patient, what interventions you would plan for, and what treatments you would expect to see ordered for them. And the third category is what you will teach the patient. A huge part of our job as nurses is to educate our patients to help them become the healthiest that they can be. So write out what you would teach in your concept maps, and you will be so much more prepared for when you actually have to teach it to a patient. In the fourth category is what disorders are associated with your main disorder. This is really where you use your awesome critical thinking skills. So make a list of disorders that are related to your main disorder on your concept map. In our example, our main disorder is diabetes mellitus type 2, and the related disorders are hypertension, retinopathy, and neuropathy. Then, once you've made a list of all the associated disorders, you can create concept maps for those as well, and then compare and contrast them to your main disorder. This is a really nice visual way to connect all of the concepts together. Plus, just the process of writing out your concept maps will help solidify the information into your brain so you can actually remember it when your exam rolls around. So there you have it, concept maps in a nutshell. Now, have you heard? We've just released our first online course. It's called the Study Success and Time Management Mastery course. And I really build off this concept map training here, and I teach you the 9 key questions to ask when creating concept maps. Plus, you'll also get my 6 simple step process of studying that will help you get better grades and have more free time in nursing school. And who wouldn't want that, right? So be sure to check that out. I will put a link here below the video. Well, that's all for now, friend. You are a rock star, and you are going to be a legendary nurse. I am so glad you're here, and I so look forward to hearing about all of your success in nursing school. So we'll chat soon.